You were right.
About what?
I cheated with your
What?
friend.
That ain't nothing new. Oh, word? You really did that, man?
Yes, twice.
The night I came home, you was
Yes,
outside.
I really did.
Man.
Yes, I cheated, Your Honor.
San Bernardino Sheriff's Department came to her home. They threatened me with a warrant for interstate flight and kidnapping of a minor.
Really?
I told him that no matter how long it takes.
You just said for the first month he was not around, but the other guy was?
The other guy was around all the way through my pregnancy.
Really?
Yes.
Was he at the birth too?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman spills the beans on his burning desire to crack a 30-year-old nut, figuring out if Mr. Wolf, who might just have his eyes, is actually his son. Picture this, a blast from the past romance, a mysterious connection with Wolf's late mom, and here we are, decades later, with Mr. Hoffman clinging to the hope that DNA will play matchmaker. You can almost see the drama thickening as he pours out his heart, making everyone in the room reach for their tissues, or popcorn.
To solve a 30-year mystery and finally find out if Mr. Wolf is your long-lost son.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, you claim to have had a sexual relationship with his now deceased mother.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Wolf, you say you have no memories of Mr. Hoffman.
Yeah, what the hell, right? Then, bam, plot twist, Mr. Hoffman stumbles upon a potential blockbuster revelation on Facebook of all places, realizing he might be Mr. Wolf's dad. Talk about a modern-day saga. As he shares this jaw-dropper, the court turns into a scene straight out of a soap opera, showcasing how our digital lives can lead to real-world roller coasters. It's like CSI Family Edition, with the court hanging onto every word, witnessing how a simple friend request could unravel years of mystery.
Only months ago, you received a message on social media stating that Mr. Hoffman believes he is your dad. So, Mr. Hoffman, explain to the court what happened 30 years ago.
My older late sister had introduced me to Mr. Wolf's mother, but at the time I was a over-the-road truck driver, so I was gone a lot.
Wow, didn't see that coming. Flashback time, Mr. Hoffman reminisces about those golden days with young Mr. Wolf, when they shared laughs and crafted a bed with their bare hands. Talk about father-son bonding. This snippet from their past paints a picture of fleeting yet meaningful connections, injecting a dose of humanity into the court's proceedings. It's a reminder that sometimes the little things, like a wooden bed, can hold the biggest piece of our hearts. This twist takes us deeper into the Is He the Dad drama.
The lifestyle I lived, almost without any emotion of not having a dad around.
You just became guarded. And yet, there was a man all along that was looking for you.
Last time I seen him, he had just turned 5 years old.
Remember the good times? Mr. Hoffman and Mr. Wolf sure do. Cue the dramatic music. Mr. Hoffman recounts his near miss with a kidnapper label, all because he wanted to step up as Dad of the Year. Imagine the scene. There he was, trying to be the hero, only to get slapped with the bad guy tag. This plot twist adds some spicy drama to the mix, showing the courtroom that sometimes the road to fatherhood is paved with legal landmines and gut-wreaching decisions.
Oh, we got a call a couple months later from my older sister. San Bernardino Sheriff's Department came to her home. They threatened me with a warrant for interstate flight and kidnapping of a minor.
Really?
I told him that no matter how long it takes.
Now grab your tissues because here comes a tearjerker, a heartfelt message from Auntie Hoffman to Mr. Wolf, bridging years of silence with words of love and longing. It's like finding an old love letter in a bottle, washing up on the shores of the courtroom. This sentimental telegram from the past highlights the unbreakable chains of family and the relentless hope of reconnection, giving everyone in the room a case of the warm fuzzies.
My sister finally located him on Facebook.
I actually had brought a copy of it.
Jerome, may I
today.
see that, please? Message, hi James, my name is Helen. I believe I'm your aunt. Your father has been looking for you for 25 years. You look just like our family. I don't know how much you know about your father.
The tension peaks as the judge channels his inner Maury Povich, about to drop the DNA bombshell. You can cut the suspense with a knife as everyone leans in, awaiting the verdict that could either start a family reunion or turn into an episode of Missed Connections. It's the kind of moment that makes you wish you had popcorn, as the courtroom braces for a revelation that could change everything. Then, the grand moment hits. Is Mr. Hoffman stepping into a new role, or is he just waiting to dash out the door as soon as the noise dies down?
It proves that he is my son. I would like him, because we've talked over the phone before, that if it proves positive that he is my son, I would want him legally to change his name, because he would. I am the last Hoffman.
Mr. Wolf, if in fact the results dictate that he is in fact your biological father, would you be amenable to changing your name to Hoffman?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
That Mr. Hoffman, you are his father.
In a more gripping scene than a soap opera, Mr. Griffin lays his heart on the line, hoping against hope that he's Autumn's dad. His emotional roller coaster doesn't just tug at your heartstrings, it practically yanks them out, showing he's all in, blood ties or not.
Mr. Griffin, you recently became engaged to the defendant. Now,
Yes,
you
Your
say you
Honor.
desperately hope you are the child's biological father and confess you'll be heartbroken if today's results prove otherwise.
Yes, Your Honor.
Wow, wasn't that something? Miss Brown, in a moment of candid vulnerability, spills the beans about the paternity puzzle, admitting the timeline is as muddled as a plot in a detective novel. Her admission brings a twist that would make even a seasoned soap watcher raise an eyebrow, adding layers of intrigue and emotional drama. Mr. Griffin just showed how deep his love goes, proving you don't need blood ties to be a dad.
Ms. Brown, you admit you're unsure who fathered little Autumn. You confess you slept with 2 different men during the window of conception. Thus, you say there's a real chance Autumn may not be Mr. Griffin.
Shocking news next. Cue the dramatic music as Miss Brown recounts a scare that could chill any parent to the bone, with Autumn's health hanging by a thread. Meanwhile, Mr. Griffin turns into an action hero, walking a marathon's distance to reach his possibly not his daughter, proving his superhero dad status isn't contingent on DNA. Miss Brown's reveal adds a big twist, turning everything upside down.
Well, Your Honor, he's been a great father. There was a time where Autumn was about 3 to 4 weeks old, and she stopped breathing on me. I had to call the ambulance, and I knew that they would take so long to come, so I actually got in my car and I drove myself. On the way there, I called my ex, and I asked him, to meet me at the hospital because my daughter wasn't breathing, and he said, no, I'm not coming, she's not my daughter. So I called him, and he said, I'm on my way. Not knowing at the time he didn't have a way to get there, he walked 25 miles, excuse me.
Just when you think it can't get more complicated, Mr. Griffin stumbles upon a text that's more loaded than a Thanksgiving turkey, casting a long shadow of doubt over the already tangled paternity web and cranking up the tension in this familial saga.
Please explain that doubt.
How I came upon the habit of doubt, I caught her on the phone. I seen the text message in the phone. And then she was on the phone with this guy. I thought they was done. And then I just grabbed my stuff and I left, kicked the door and left.
So you think everything's normal. You see a text message, read the text message
Yes,
from this
yes, Your
guy,
Honor.
so you just leave.
Yes.
Truth gets complicated. Miss Brown lays out the timeline with the precision of a courtroom exhibit, adding yet another layer of complexity to the Who's the Daddy drama and bearing her soul about the fear and uncertainty swirling around Autumn's lineage. And wait until you see this.
I had unprotected sex with my ex. So maybe 2 weeks later, around January the 7th, me and Mr. Griffin had sex, but it was protected, but the condom, popped. So at the time, I really didn't think that Mr. Griffin, was her father. It was always in the back of my mind, Your Honor, but just thought that the ex was because we had unprotected sex.
The season finale. Worthy climax hits as the DNA results are unveiled. Not just pulling at heartstrings, but playing them like a harp.
And you think the 2 children, they really do look alike to you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Griffin, you think
Thank
the
you.
2 girls look alike?
Yeah, they look like twins. Man, that's my babies right there. That's daddy baby girls. I do anything for them. I lay down my life for them.
It has been determined by this court that Mr. Griffin is not the father.
Mr. Hamilton, in a performance worthy of an Oscar, strides up to the judge, flamboyantly requesting a lie detector and a DNA kit for Ms. Lombardi's little princess, suspecting she's been playing a real-life game of Clue in the bedroom department. Ms. Lombardi, rolling her eyes so hard they could generate electricity, spills the tea that Mr. Hamilton has morphed into Sherlock Holmes, sneakily trying to pin the daddy title on himself for all the kiddos. Stay put, this video is about to fly.
Mr. Hamilton, you have petitioned the court for a lie detector test on Ms. Lombardi, as well as DNA testing regarding her baby daughter.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're asking the court to administer these tests to help you prove it once and for all.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Lombardi, you argue that Mr. Hamilton is simply blinded by jealousy and paranoia.
Yes, Your Honor.
Wowza, that was a wild ride, transforming their living room into a daytime drama stage. Mr. Hamilton, feeling like he's auditioning for a detective role, outs Ms. Lombardi's clandestine meetups. This revelation turns their humble abode into a DIY forensic lab, prompting Ms. Lombardi to clap back with a zinger about Mr. Hamilton's jealousy being so thick it's practically a milkshake. The ensuing argument is so juicy it could fill a gossip magazine, especially with tales of a mysterious friend who moonlights as a potential dad after hours. Keep your socks on. We're starting this show.
Hamilton, are your fears that Miss Lombardi's cheating simply jealousy?
So the other 2, you know, it was like, wow, there go the question right there. And with the baby in your question right now, Your Honor.
I have 4 kids with this man. 4 kids.
3 in the
We
process.
should not have to be here for this one.
And where the doubt stands in that with this 4th one. Man,
Look at my baby.
Exactly. And she darker than every last kid.
She looks just like you.
With a
You know
bald
it.
head,
No.
and she was a preemie.
This is
Come
tearing
on,
my
man,
family
you tripping.
apart, Your Honor.
Hey, Your Honor.
The courtroom feels more like a game show set, with baby Janae's complexion becoming the million-dollar question. Mr. Hamilton is visibly flummoxed, trying to decode Janae's glow, which seems more beach vacay than family gene. Meanwhile, Ms. Lombardi stands firm, insisting that Janai's peepers are a family heirloom, despite the color chart confusion.
Look at her and
You
look at
said
him.
this baby's
Look
father
African.
looks African.
And she white, yes, but compared to my other children,
So she's a little
light.
dark. So
light.
what?
So light, Your Honor. There's no way this is my baby.
So now, Ms. Lombardi, how does he treat Janae differently from the other
He
children?
will,
don't.
he will not
obvious.
take care of her. He will not help me
snap.
with her.
Hey, you
I asked him
There
to
go
watch
another
her.
lie, Your Honor.
Oh boy, that was a real circus. Amid the legal drama, Mr. Hamilton channels his inner soap star, getting misty-eyed and sentimental about his bond with Janae. Yet he's also scratching his noggin, wondering if he should start comparing baby pics or just embrace the mystery of parenthood.
He is her father.
As much as you are here and you are full of energy in terms of your story, this is hurting you because I can see the tears
It really
in your eyes.
does.
This
It really
is-
does. You know what I mean? Because
Your Honor, this
you know,
has
I
broken
love
up
my
our home
children,
after
Your Honor.
12
You know what I'm
years.
saying? I love my kids. I love them to death. I do anything for my children. I'm a great.
So then why won't you take care of her?
I do, Marie, and it's gonna kill me inside because I deny it. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just.
The judge, probably daydreaming about a peaceful retirement, hits the pause button, calling for a science intervention to untangle this datum drama, hoping the DNA and lie detector results will be less convoluted than the plot of their lives.
You know what that tells me? I'm right.
You're not. You're
All
wrong.
right. Well, I'll tell you what. You've both taken lie detector tests.
Before you read the results, I would like to say something to Mr. Hamilton. May I?
Well, this would be the time. Yes.
You were right.
About what?
I cheated with your
What?
friend.
That ain't nothing new. Oh, word? Really did that, man?
Yes, twice.
The night I came home, we was
Yes,
outside.
I really did. Yes, I
Man.
cheated, Your Honor.
And it's his baby right here.
It is a possibility.
Just when you think it couldn't get more twisted, Ms. Lombardi drops a bombshell about a secret fling with Mr. Hamilton's golf buddy, adding a spicy subplot to the family saga. But let's hear those results.
Hamilton versus Lombardi. It has been determined by this court, Mr. Hamilton
Yes, ma'am.
are her father.
Oh my God, I knew it. I told you. I told you. I knew it. I knew it. I told you.
The episode kicks off with more drama than a reality TV show marathon as Mr. Green spills the beans about his crushed dad dreams. Picture this, a grown man, nearly in tears, confessing his yearning to rock a baby to sleep. It's like watching a tough guy crumble at the sight of a puppy. This heartfelt moment not only tugs at the heartstrings, but also sets up a roller coaster of emotions, drawing viewers in like a magnet to the unfolding saga. Your eyes are gonna pop at the next bit.
Claim your rights as a potential father to the child in question today, 2-year-old Angel Bryant, were basically stolen from you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Wait, did our eyes just play tricks on us? Enter Ms. Duncan, stirring the pot with her bombshell admission that could out-drama any soap opera. She nonchalantly drops that she's been playing the field, yet insists Mr. Green is the daddy frontrunner due to his, cautious approach. It's like a plot twist in a mystery novel, except the detective is a potential dad, and the clues are a lot more personal. The stage is set for a messy dive into the truth, peppered with a dash of datum TV suspense.
You admit to sleeping with another man while with Mr. Green, but say you're still positive he is Angel's father because the other man used protection. Furthermore, you contend that Mr. Green is not solely supporting the child. In fact, you admit that both men are currently paying child support.
We rewind to the days when Mr. Green and Miss Duncan's love story was all rainbows and butterflies, before it spiraled into a saga worthy of a telenovela. From cute dates to colossal misunderstandings, it's a classic tale of romance gone awry, providing the juicy backstory to their current pickle. It's like watching a rom-com fast forward into a drama, setting the scene for their present-day conundrum. Next up, something so wild, you'll need to see it to believe it.
Mr. Green, how did you meet Miss Duncan?
How did I meet her? Well, it was New Year's night. She was out, I was out, of course. I saw her staggering a little bit, walking home alone from the club. I took her home. We did not sleep together. This was about 3 months later. So we first had sex around May, just like you say, May.
Waited, which is good, got to know one another, and then you had a sexual relationship.
That's correct.
The pregnancy bomb drops, and Mr. Green's world is rocked harder than a headliner at a rock concert. His mix of shock, confusion, and a smidge of panic is more gripping than a cliffhanger season finale. This moment isn't just a game changer, it's the scene that has viewers on the edge of their seats, wondering if popcorn is an appropriate snack for such intense drama.
I got sick. I was eating buffalo wings and I was start hurting in my right side real bad. They took me to the emergency room and they told me that I had gallstones. Congratulations, you're 9.5 weeks pregnant.
Really?
So I called Mr. Green.
You did?
Yes.
He was the first person you called?
Yes.
And so what was your reaction? Were you happy?
I just couldn't believe it. I was in shock.
You were 54 years old.
Yes.
You never had
Yes, Your
another
Honor.
child.
No, Your Honor.
Did that just go down for real, or am I dreaming? As Mr. Green grills Ms. Duncan about the baby daddy mystery, the tension could cut through steel. Their argument is more heated than a debate on pizza toppings, laying bare the raw emotions and high stakes at play. It's a deep dive into a whirlpool of feelings and accusations, offering a front row seat to their personal turmoil and hinting at the stormy legal battles ahead.
Told him you were pregnant. He says he was shocked. How did that come across to you through the phone? Did you feel like he didn't care, or did he sound happy?
Yes, I felt that he didn't care.
So did you tell the other guy you were pregnant too?
I haven't seen the other guy until after I got out the hospital.
Okay.
If I'm supposed to be the child's father, I would have been there at the time of birth, and also my name would be on the birth certificate, Your Honor. I was informed that she would call me. I said, well, call me when you get ready to have the child.
With the possibility of another man in the picture, Mr. Green turns detective, questioning everything he thought was true. It's like watching a trust-building exercise go horribly wrong, with added drama for flavor. This interrogation scene peels back layers of their relationship, revealing a maze of doubts and deception that would baffle even the sharpest of minds.
So, Mr. Green, at what point did you find out there was another man in the picture?
I'm getting to that right now, Your Honor.
Okay.
It was like 6 or 7 months down the road during her pregnancy. That's after 6 or 7 months.
Of pregnancy, or
Yes.
when the baby was born?
6 or 7 months during pregnancy.
All right.
And that's why I found out the baby may be who she said it may be.
3 months pregnant.
You told me that 6
Now
or 7
you're gonna
months.
tell I'm 6 or 7
You was
months?
about to have the baby almost about 4 more months to go.
And so you out as a family and then come home and some other man is talking about he's coming to pick up your family.
The story gets juicier as we look at the money and feelings all mixed up in this daddy mystery. It's like jumping into a big, messy pile of grown-up problems, where money and love are all mixed up like a smeared painting in the rain. This bit shows us the real human side of court fights, full of sadness and headaches.
Did you know he was gonna come pick you up after Mr. Green dropped you off?
No,
Did you
Your
have 2 dates in a row planned?
No, Your Honor.
So why was he just sitting up there?
He probably just came by. I didn't know he was coming by.
I didn't
baby's
really,
father?
I really didn't see him till after the child was born.
When did you come see the child? How old she was? 2, 3 months?
About 1 month.
And the other guy was there for me. He was right there for me.
The shocker that both guys might be tricked in the dad race is wilder than a twist in a spooky movie. Ms. Duncan's big secret flips the whole story upside down, making everyone think twice about what they've seen. It's a game changer that makes the tale even more twisty and emotional and totally gripping.
So how I'm playing
How would you feel if I do the same thing to you if I was vice versa?
Playing you? How was I was playing you, Mr. Green? How?
How? Every time the baby needs shoes, the baby needs pampers, the baby needs this. Your daughter.
Okay.
Miss Duncan,
Yes, Your Honor.
you just said for the first month he was not around, but the other guy was?
The other guy was around all the way through my pregnancy.
Really? Was
Yes.
he at the birth too?
Yes.
Focusing on Mr. Green and his bond with Angel brings a warm, fuzzy twist to the story. It shows how deep their connection is. Beyond just blood, it's a sweet reminder that family isn't just about DNA, but about the relationships we build and grow. This part really gets to the heart of what being a parent is all about, with a dash of mushiness.
Now Angel's 2 years old. Who does she regard as daddy? This guy?
No, Your Honor.
No.
She just in his name. She called Mr. Green her daddy.
So, Mr. Green, after being denied the opportunity to be at the birth, you now have established a relationship with the child so much so that she calls you daddy.
Yes, Your Honor. And that's why I want to step up to the plate and do more, because I don't want the child to grow up without a father.
And I can see that it breaks both of you apart. Both of you are in tears right now. And is that because you feel like your mistakes have negatively affected this child, or you feel like you've had to hold back from her?
talking about Angel's future, and the search for Daddy Facts digs into big, deep ideas, like a brainy talk but with more lawyer talk. It's a touching look at what makes us who we are and how we leave our mark, hitting home for anyone who's ever wondered about their place in the world. This chat is more than just legal blah blah. It's a deep think about who we are and our bonds with others.
The other gentleman, is he supporting her as well?
He was. I haven't seen him in like 3 to 4 months.
But up until about 3 or 4 months ago, he was providing for her?
Yes.
In what way?
He like bring me like 200 or 300 a month.
So he would give money
and we
for
take
her.
the baby shopping.
And he get her clothes?
Yes.
When you look at Angel, which one of these men do you see?
Mr. Green.
You do? You think she looks like Mr. Green?
Yes.
The scene with the DNA results is like the biggest shock in a TV show finale, full of emotions and flipping everything upside down. What comes next is a roller coaster of feelings, making everyone deal with new truths and what family really means.
In the case of Duncan versus Green, when it comes to the paternity of 2-year-old Angel Bryant, Mr. Ronald Green, you are not her father. I'm so sorry. Mostly sorry for Angel.